Scottish warrior William Wallace leads his countrymen in a rebellion to free his homeland from the tyranny of King Edward I of England. Braveheart is a 1995 American epic historical drama film directed and produced by Mel Gibson. Spoilers ahead. In the year 1280, Scotland was plunged into chaos following the king's death, without a male heir. Seizing the opportunity, King Edward I of England, notorious for his ruthless tactics and nicknamed Longshanks, launched a devastating invasion of Scotland. The divided Scottish nobles, unable to unite against their common enemy, were swiftly defeated. Young William Wallace witnessed the treachery of Longshanks firsthand when he brutally slaughtered the Scottish nobles, including Wallace's father and brother, under the guise of a peace treaty. However, Wallace's family members had arrived late to the meeting, sparing their lives. They return to their village forever scared as their village prepares for a daring rebellion against the treacherous Longshanks. Despite their bravery, the Scots are vastly outnumbered, and their valiant effort ends in tragic defeat. William, having narrowly escaped the fate of his father and brother, is whisked away to safety by his uncle Argyll. The young warrior is taken abroad, where he receives a formal education, broadening his horizons and sharpening his mind. Though physically distant from the conflict, William's heart remains with his people, and he vows to one day return and fight for Scotland's freedom. William Wallace opts out of joining the Scottish army, choosing instead to pursue a peaceful life as a farmer and start a family. Meanwhile, Longshanks orchestrates a strategic marriage between his son Edward and the French princess Isabel, daughter of his rival king. However, Edward's sexual preferences lean towards men, and the union fails to produce an heir. Uninterested in state affairs, Edward leaves the political maneuvering to his wife Isabel, who attends meetings with Longshanks and his advisors in his stead. When a drunken English soldier attempts to ravish McGoohan, Wallace bravely fights off a group of soldiers to protect her. The couple tries to flee, but their escape is thwarted. Wallace manages to escape the village, but McGoohan is captured and brutally executed in public by the village sheriff. Consumed by rage and grief, Wallace unleashes a fierce retaliation against the English soldiers, methodically taking them down one by one. The villagers, inspired by his courage, join the fray, and together they massacre the English garrison. Wallace ultimately confronts the sheriff, exacting a personal vengeance for McGoohan's brutal execution. This bold act of defiance ignites a full-blown rebellion against English rule, as Wallace's legend grows and resonates across the land. Hundreds of Scots from neighboring clans flock to his side, united in their quest for freedom and justice. Wallace's transformation from peaceful farmer to fearless warrior leader is complete, and his name becomes a rallying cry for Scottish independence. Stephen, claiming Ireland's throne, saves Wallace from a treacherous assassination attempt by a fellow Scot. News of Wallace's rebellion reaches Longshanks, who prepares to depart for France, leaving his son Edward in charge of quashing the uprising. Princess Isabel, neglected by Edward, becomes captivated by Wallace's tale of love and loss. She learns how Wallace bravely fought off English soldiers to reclaim McGoohan's body, taking it to a secret grave. Meanwhile, Wallace seeks the aid of Robert the Bruce, son of the noble Robert the Elder, and a leading contender for Scotland's crown. Despite his growing respect for Wallace and his noble cause, Robert remains under the thumb of his father, who prioritizes securing the throne for his son through submission to the English. Wallace leads his army to a resounding victory at the Battle of Stirling, leveraging innovative tactics like long spears to counter the English heavy cavalry. With passion and conviction, Wallace inspires the Scots to fight not for nobles or lords, but for the universal ideal of freedom. As the Scots celebrate their triumph, their nobles squabble over who should be king, unable to agree. Wallace knows the English will regroup and attack again, so he devises a bold plan to take the fight to English soil. He shares his vision with Robert, emphasizing that true leadership is about courage, not titles. With this, Wallace leads the Scottish army to a daring raid on the city of York, striking at the heart of English power. Longshanks returns from France, enraged by his son Edward's inaction against the Scottish rebels. In a fit of rage, he brutally dispatches Edward's lover by throwing him out of a castle window to his death. Longshanks then devises a cunning plan to crush the rebellion, He sends his daughter-in-law, Princess Isabel, to negotiate with Wallace, hoping that Wallace will kill her, prompting the French king to declare war on Scotland. However, Wallace remains unmoved by Longshanks' bribe of gold, titles, and estates. Instead, Isabel finds herself captivated by Wallace's courage and conviction during their meeting. As tensions escalate, Longshanks readies a formidable army to invade Scotland, determined to crush the rebellion and maintain English dominance. Isabel warns Wallace of the impending English invasion, prompting him to urge the Scottish nobles to take immediate action. However, they prioritize their interests over the country's fate. Leading the English army, Longshanks confronts the Scots at the Battle of Falkirk, where Wallace is betrayed by noblemen Lachlan and Mornay. Despite being wounded, Wallace charges towards Longshanks. Wallace later kills the traitors Lachlan and Mornay, evades assassination attempts, and wages a relentless guerrilla war against the English. Robert the Bruce, eager to join forces with Wallace and commit his troops to the rebellion, arranges a secret meeting in Edinburgh. Unbeknownst to him, his father has conspired with other nobles to capture Wallace and hand him over to the English. When Robert discovers his father's treachery, he disowns him in disgust. Meanwhile, Isabel seeks revenge against the ailing Longshanks, revealing that she is pregnant with another man's child, intentionally ending his lineage and paving the way for her to rule in her son's place. In London, Wallace stands trial for high treason, facing a cruel fate. Despite the magistrate's attempts to break his spirit, Wallace remains defiant, refusing to plead for mercy even as he's subjected to gruesome torture and mutilation. As the crowd watches in horror, Wallace is offered a final chance to surrender, but he boldly shouts, "Freedom!" Instead, in his final moments, Wallace's vision blurs, and he sees a comforting sight, Murren, his beloved wife, smiling at him from the crowd. With a sense of peace, Wallace meets his end, his unwavering dedication to Scotland's freedom inspiring a nation. His legendary courage in the face of death cements his status as a hero, and his name becomes a rallying cry for generations to come. In 1314 AD, Scotland's King Robert the Bruce stands ready to face the English army at Bannockburn. With a passionate cry, he invokes the spirit of William Wallace, the legendary hero who fought for Scotland's freedom.